Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, what is the commonest mistake that most broadcasters make, or that any broadcaster can make?
Commonest mistake. Well, it could be actually in the pronunciation of words and names. I think that's what you would observe first. An English word badly pronounced, a Nigerian name or place also badly pronounced.
Badly pronounced.
Yeah, so I think I would say pronunciation is what you would probably pick up immediately as the most common mistake.
All right. Now, talking about pronunciation, what is the best way to go about pronouncing words correctly and very well?
Well, one word, practice, practice, practice. So I could say that word actually 1,000 times and it still might not be enough. You just have to keep practicing. You have to listen. You have to, if you are a professional, then I think you have to learn the way that consonants and vowels are pronounced. You have to learn the phonetic symbols if you are a professional, because that's the only way that you can actually determine how words are pronounced. If you open a dictionary, apart from the dictionary, the pronunciation dictionary that we use as broadcasters, any other reasonable dictionary has words transcribed. Each word has a transcription of the way the word should be pronounced. But you can only understand it if you can recognize what those symbols, what those phonetic symbols are. So if you don't know it, then you can't even hazard a guess. Because the thing about the English language is that the pronunciation is not determined by the spelling. Unfortunately, that's the kind of problem that we have with the language that we say is our national language or our official language. Yeah.
All right. Now, for anybody to have a taste of success in broadcasting or as a broadcaster, what must the person do?
A taste of success. Well, I think, first of all, the person must be prepared to work hard. Anybody that wants to be successful at anything, I think, has to be prepared to work hard. Although I know that hard work is relative, but that preparation process, I think, is important. I think one has to persevere to ensure that by the time you're going on air, you are actually as ready as you possibly can be. Yeah, I think that's the way I'd answer that.
Interesting. Now, what do you like most about being a broadcaster?
I think probably the opportunity to meet many, many different people. Because at least during the days when I was anchoring the news, we were always interviewing different people. And well, to me, that's quite exciting. That's interesting. You know, you may not have much of an opportunity to have long discussions with them, but you still do meet and across borders, across classes, across professions. You just meet so many people. I think that's really one of the the great things about broadcasting.
Broadcasting, interesting, interesting. So, what don't you like about being a broadcaster? You've told us what you like about being a broadcaster. Let's look at what you don't like about being a broadcaster.
What don't I like? Okay, let me describe it as best behavior blues. Okay?
Right.
Everywhere you go, you have to somehow be on your best behavior. Because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. You never know who's going to say, oh, I saw such and such a person, but you will never guess what she did. You'll never guess what she said. You'll never guess what she wore. You know, there are people quite often, when you meet people in public places, I think perhaps there's an expectation of you. And sometimes, well, we're human beings, so sometimes we fall short. And occasionally, you know, I have forgotten that I appear on, or then I appeared on TV. So I find myself in situations where once or twice people have come up to say one or two things to me, and perhaps I just wasn't in the mood that day. I wasn't willing to speak to anybody. So perhaps my answer was less than friendly. And then you will see that look on their face, you know, that,
why is she like this?
yeah, this is not what I expected, you know. So that might be one of the downsides. That's why I call it, what did I say now? Best behavior blues. Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah. So what has been the greatest thing, you know, that broadcasting has done for you?
Well, broadcasting has actually done quite a lot. It has, I think it has been it's been a doorway to a variety of other things that I've been able to do. As a result of broadcasting, I've been a moderator. I've been a compere of, you know, various events. I became a trainer. I became a speaker. So I think broadcasting created opportunities in other areas which are somehow aligned, you know, with broadcasting, but not precisely. I don't quite know how to put it. Let me say that the things that I have done are like cousins. So broadcasting is the parent. Broadcasting is the parent. And then the other things that I've done are the children and the cousins and the nieces and the nephews. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the correlation between broadcasting things that I've done.
All right.
And
so, okay. Yes. What would you have wanted broadcasting to do for you that it hasn't done yet?
Oh, that it hasn't done yet. I don't know that I can answer that question, but it hasn't done yet. I'll have to think about that one. I don't think I have an answer. I don't think I have an immediate answer for you, because as a result of I've told you some of the things that I've done as a result of broadcasting. I have also become an author as a result of broadcasting. Perhaps the one key thing that I may not have been able to do, but then I'm not sure that it is as a result of broadcasting or not as a result of broadcasting, is acting. Yes, I told you that, you know, right from the word go, that was actually my first love. And I discovered that when I was in the years that I spent anchoring the news, I actually did take part in one TV soap, in a TV drama series. But then I also realized that it wasn't the best idea, because I saw that sometimes when I met people, they spoke to me as if I were the character that I played. Okay. And sometimes when I met people, they spoke to me as a news anchor. And one of the important things about being a news anchor is that when you're seated at that desk, you're not supposed to be a distraction. There shouldn't be anything about you that detracts from the information that you're giving. The most important thing at that particular point in time is the information, is the news itself. You are not supposed to be the news, okay? You are supposed to present the news. So if a viewer is watching you and for any reason they are seeing you as a different character from the one that you are supposed to be portraying as a news anchor, it is it is a very good way of causing a distraction. So being a news anchor probably was one of the reasons why I was not able to take up some of the offers that came my way. Yes.
Interesting. Now, talking about the said role, you played, what was the title of the production? Can you still remember, and what character specifically did you play?
The name of the program was Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate.
Okay, by Zulu Okafor.
Exactly. Okay. Zulu Okafor was the producer. Okay. And can I remember? I right now I can't remember. Was it Beatrice?
It's all right.
2 years ago. I can't quite remember. Yes, I can't remember specifically.
It's all right. It's all right.
Character. Yeah.
All right. I need us to take a trip, down memory lane. I need you to tell us your first time ever on air, and maybe one memorable incident or something that happened that day.
The first time was, I think it would have been in February. Was it February? I think it was in February, 1976.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
1976.
I haven't even started going to school. That's a pupil then.
Actually, now that I think about it, that was not my first time on air. My first time on air was probably about maybe a week or so, or a week or two before I started reading the news. The first time I was actually on air was when the late head of state, General Murtala Mohammed, died. And when that happened, radio and TV personnel were expected to come up with programs eulogizing him, okay? And I was in the drama department at the time. I was an assistant producer. And we were asked to come up with a program. And we created this program called Elegy.
Elegy.
Elegy, yes.
Elegy, okay, Elegy.
Okay. Yes, okay. E-L-E-G-Y.
Why, all right.
That particular period of time, there was a curfew. So the artists that usually were available could not come to the station. And we were told that, well, all of us that are within that department, that we should become the artists, that we should come in front of we should take our positions in front of the camera and do whatever it is that we were going to do. So that actually was the first time that I was on air, and I was actually reading poetry. Other people were doing, you know, dramatic pieces and things like that, but I was reading poetry. I don't recall that there was that anything embarrassing happened at that time. All I know is that I was, as a result of that, I was invited to be part of the pioneer corps of female newscasters that had been decided upon at that point in time. So the first day that I was on air, I don't think anything particularly embarrassing happened, because I recall that we had a rehearsal. We rehearsed all the news stories, especially the film reports. And the funny thing was that at that time, we were told that as women, we were not expected to cause a distraction, okay, from the news. And so we were deliberately given news reports, because we would spend just maybe 20 or at most 30 seconds on air, and the rest of the story would be a report. So most of the live stories were taken by the men, and the film reports were taken by the women. So, well, it wasn't. I don't think it was. There was nothing embarrassing about that first outing. Experience.
All right.
Yes. Late onwa, Ikenna and Dagoba, we were first paired. Yes, yes. And he was an excellent teacher, so he would not have allowed anything embarrassing to happen.
Interesting.